You know, one thing about living here, being born and raised here in the Sunshine State, is that I'm so glad that I was born right here in Miami, preferably like Dade County. But part of my upbringing as well was also in Central Florida area, preferably in Orlando. It's basically like, you know, with my cousins, I have relatives and family up there in the Central Florida area, you know. But I'd rather would have it be in Orlando than rather have it be in Sanford, you know. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Because Sanford, Florida has basically, we all know back in 2012, 2013, with the George Zimmerman thing and the murder he did of Trayvon Martin. But preferably it's like the Sanford Police Department, which is nothing but just a bunch of vile racist crackers that with badges that just runs rampant and runs loose. You know, in case you don't know the history of Sanford, man, Sanford is a small town outside of Orlando, located in Central Florida, particularly in Seminole County. And it was named after William Sanford, who was a slave owner from Massachusetts, slave and plantation owner. And if you want to go ahead and know about him, just look it up. Now, the picture that you see here happens to be Sanford Police Chief Cecil, what's his name? Yeah, he's about the first black police chief that Sanford has. He was just brought in there basically as a token, to be honest with you. Just brought in there as a token because of what went down with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. You know, that fat piece of shit. You already know how I feel about that. And but what happened recently, I just came across on my news feed about like how their police department is very inappropriate. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna just read this, just give you the story right here, and you know, and I'll just have my commentary right there. You know, the police told woman to stop calling 911 hours before she was killed. 3 hours before Latina Herring was murdered, she could be seen on Sanford police body camera video arguing with her boyfriend, Alan Cash, the man accused of taking his or her, I don't know how they do that. Taking his, I'm sorry, I misread that. The man accused of taking his AK-47 and going on a shooting rampage, killing Herring, her 8-year-old son, and attempted to kill her 7-year-old son, her father, and 2 bystanders. At 3:20 in the morning, Monday, police were called to a Wawa. I don't have our house keys. You know, this is what she was saying on the body camera video. Man, you got my keys, she yells. I'm not trying to play games, say Cash. You have an attitude coming home from the club drunk. 20 minutes later, police were called again to a home on Hayes Drive. According to video released by Sanford Police Friday, officers on scene dismissed Herring's concerns. See that? Now, this was one person, I guarantee you this got to be a white officer that said this, saying she making false accusations, and officer said it's the second time she's done it. At one point, police tell Herring that stop calling 911. Okay, now if her life is in danger and stuff, why should she stop calling 911? Somebody explain that to me. Okay, we're going, you know, this is one officer says, we're going to handle it. Just stop calling 911 and making accusations that you don't know about. Okay, accusations of what? Dude got an AK-47 and attempted to kill her. That's not an accusation. That's a matter of life and death. Anyway, police in the video say the couple was just arguing and it wasn't physical. They call it a quote-unquote civil matter. At one point, excuse me, Cash is handcuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car, but is released. Police said there was no reason to arrest anyone. One officer says Heron, frustrated, says she should have just lied and said Cash hit her. Yeah, that would have been enough to take him down. But I could see that happening. Now, it's unclear why Cash or Heron called 911. Officers on scene remarked he may have wanted to harm her. I think he's calling because he's afraid he's going to do something to her. This was one officer said to another. Now, Heron's friend, LaDasha Beasley, says Sanford police should have done more. Absolutely, they should have. But this is Sanford police. Sanford PD is a big disappointment to me and to others, she said. To protect and serve who, man? Who? You know, justice needs to be served. Now, Sanford police, as usual, they didn't immediately respond to requests for comments on the newly released body cam video and how officers handled the scene. Now, Cash is accused of going on his shooting spree around 6:30 in the morning. Police let him leave the scene after he got his keys, which basically sparked the argument. Now, the 4 shooting survivors remained in the hospital. 3 are stable and 1 is in critical condition. Okay, 2 of which happens to be an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old. Okay? Let's just go ahead and get down to it. I'll leave the link in the description for this story. And I haven't seen no video yet, but I'll probably come across something like this. But here's the point with this, which makes me sick with the Sanford Police Department. You know, Cecil Smith, that's his name. Okay, I got it now. Cecil Smith is basically much like Obama. You know, you ain't got no backbone. You just there to take a job and just, you know, and by the mayor there, who happens to be racist himself, Klansman, is basically there, like I said, a token Negro. Because there's a lot of things about Cecil Smith that I could show you and tell you about with this guy. You know, like I said, he is basically a major disappointment. City of Sanford, it'll never be same again. You know, up there in that area, like in Central Florida, is basically it's basically like I can't even have no words for it. But like when it comes down to Sanford, man, if I'm traveling through Central Florida and I'm going through Orlando, when it comes down to coming into Sanford, I just keep going through. I don't even bother stopping, because the fact of the matter, if I want to go through Orlando, if I'm coming north, you know, that's what I would do. Because, like, you know, Central Florida, particularly Sanford's been a hotbed. Nothing but just a bunch of old racist rednecks. You got them there in Orlando too, because like I said, part of my childhood upbringing was in Central Florida, so I already know what goes down in there. That's how come I could tell you what I need to tell you about in my home state. Now, as far as Central Florida, the beauty of it, the landscape of it and everything is basically awesome. I love it, you know, but the fact of the matter that the systemic racism that goes on in there, and you think, like, you know, somebody like Cecil Smith, like, you think he's going to ease things? No, he's not. You know, he's just there, like I said, to take a job and just be there for it. Now the guy standing next to you is Seminole County Sheriff. I don't know his name. Don't want to know him because I think they're full of it themselves. You know, I can find out his name for you real quick. But it's just the gall that that once again this is just another day in the office of the Sanford Police Department. And it just goes to show and proves more the incompetence, the inappropriate behavior of that racist police department, and the practices that goes on in there. I still remember that the son of a lieutenant there, of previous chief, let me see what that Pickerwood's name is. The previous police chief of Sanford. Yeah, he was a Klansman too. I can't find him, but I will eventually. Now, is I'm gonna go out here and call him a coon? Nah, but he's leaning toward that coon meter, that's for sure. Because I feel like he hasn't done much or done enough. You know, and everybody talk about when it comes down to the police department, well, they just need more training and all that. No. You just got a bunch of white supremacists that basically infiltrated law enforcement. It's been done like that for the past 10 years, past 11, 12 years. The FBI brought a dossier out on that. You know, shoot, me personally, I think that whole police department, much like the Ferguson Police Department, needs to be dismantled. Period. But this is what you have to deal with. Because now you got a young lady who got killed because a police dispatcher or some stupid ass officers, you know, just told her to stop calling 911 when they should have just went on ahead and took him in anyway. Let his ass sit in there and let him cool off a bit. He wouldn't have had to go ahead and done this, taking his AK-47 and went on a shooting rampage. They just already had a rampage with the other dude that killed an Orlando police officer who was good people, by the way, and killed 2 more other people. And he was on the run. But this is the day in the life of this. But, you know, like I said, it's coons like this guy. The Sanford Police Department, they need to have their ass whooped for this one. They really do. But this is what you expect when you in the America of 45.